I have met people who have walked away from their marriage. I have met people who have walked away from their God ordained person. I have seen a lot of things happen on this journey, okay? And just like everybody else, we do have free will. And some people, they walk away, they come right back. And then there are other people who don't care what the consequences are, and they just deal with the consequences. And I want you to know that, whenever God tells you to do something, that instruction will follow you wherever you go, okay? A lot of times our assignment is connected to a deliverance, okay? So yes, a lot of times our assignment is connected to a deliverance. So I want to talk about the life of Moses. Now, I've heard and read that Moses basically had an anger problem, but Moses was also identified as a man who was humble, okay? In the Bible, Moses actually killed somebody. He actually definitely pew-pewed somebody, an Egyptian who was actually basically beating on a Hebrew, okay? But Moses was called to lead the people out of Egypt. And that took an astronomical amount of humility, especially when you are facing a king who is very stubborn. I love to read the Bible and I love to think about how the person felt when they had so much opposition, but except they wanted to be obedient to God. So guess what? There had to be a deliverance that came when Moses was facing Pharaoh, okay? Every season of our assignment, there's something that God does on the inside of us, all right? It's not always about the end part. It's about what the Lord is focused on in the now, okay? Because our assignment is not just that one thing. There are other parts and other ways that God is going to use you when it comes to the things that he has called you to do. So just think about it. He led them out of Egypt, then they had to go through the wilderness. So the character development that Moses had to develop facing Pharaoh, who was stubborn, is the character development that was needed to lead his people, to lead the children of Israel in the wilderness, okay? So no, giving up is definitely not an option for you. I mean, you have the free will to walk away, right? However, the instruction, the circumstance will still follow you, okay? A lot of times, the assignment reveals different spirits that is or has been operating in our life that has been influencing us to make the same decisions and think the same way. So whenever God calls us to do something, we are also delivered from demonic influence, all right, that we may have opened ourselves up to as a child, a teenager, or whatever the kind, okay? So again, giving up is not an option, or the assignment is going to follow you. Let's say if you was to walk away from your God ordained standard marriage covenant and you meet somebody who is a lot better than your spouse, but it's like somehow the situation of the praying and the fasting is the same. Maybe that person does not struggle with what your spouse struggles with now. Maybe that person will struggle with something else, which will require you to do what God had asked you to do with you know what I'm saying? Okay, I just wanted to give you some understanding so that you make your choices with a lot of wisdom, because nobody ever gets away just scot-free. It does not work like that. A lot of times we find ourselves in the same situation over and over again because we're dealing with the spirit. And a lot of times when we are walking with God, he creates and allows us to be in situations, even draw us to be in certain situations so that there is a deliverance that can come on the inside of us and our eyes are open in a way to where we change the way that we think, okay? So if you feel like giving up, just take a minute and be a human being, right? Process your emotions. But I want you to ask God to help you not give up. I asked God that same thing. I told God, help me not to give up, because I have given up so much times and it's in so many situations I just did not see God do certain things I want him to do. So you want to see God do this, tell him, help me not to give up, okay? So I have an ebook called The Runaway Bride that a lot of people are still purchasing. A lot of people are buying them, and the book is very, very, really good, okay? If you are a person that wants to give up, guess what? This book would be a book for you, so you know what that journey looks like for the runaway bride, okay? You can kind of get some encouragement on why you need to stay and obey God, all right? And also, if you are a person that just needs to vent, with that ebook, you will get a discounted encouragement call. I have a discount rate for 30 minutes. For 30 minutes, you have my full attention, and I give you basically a push while you're reading your book or whatever it is you need. That is an option. That is going to link in my bio. And I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.